Nou ja, elke donderdag hierdie tyd dan sit Business Lunch met Lindie en sy bring interessante mense altyd hier na toe. Lindie, goeiemiddag en baie welkom.
Goeiemiddag, Christie.
Vandag is hy nou 'n interessante man hier, want hy het of 'n interessante besigheid.
Ja.
Wat ek nou nie kan wag voor om te hoor hoe die dinge gebeur het en wat aan die gang is alles daar nie. So, baie welkom weer aan jou, Lindie, en die man waarvan ek praat, Peter John Freeman. He is here with us. Peter John, good afternoon and welcome.
Good afternoon.
Nice to have you, and I can't wait to hear what you have to say. Lindie, laat vaai.
Yeah, Peter John Freeman, involved with STROOM, a exciting business venture based in Stellenbosch. Peter John, or John for short.
John's good.
John's good. I think I'd like to start off with just briefly, who are you? You briefly mentioned you studied or started in adulting with a fine art or degree in sculpture, but then got disillusioned or whatever. But here you are involved in this amazing, exciting venture. Yeah. I'd love to get to that, but just maybe a brief background.
Yeah, I think at this stage, I'm in my late 40s, so I think disillusioned is par for the course.
Absolutely.
I did study art a long time ago at Stellenbosch and subsequently taught a few classes afterwards. I think maybe we should mention the business that we're going to talk about today is the e-cargo bike business.
Yes.
The Dutch call it bakfietsen.
Bakfietsen.
Vrachtfietsen.
Vrachtfietsen. So let's jump into that immediately. Yeah. Here you are, a sculpture by X-Trade, but now involved in this exciting business. So please tell us, what is this about?
Okay. So I think if we, I suppose I have to explain my reason for being a little bit.
Absolutely.
I'm a product developer, product designer, and to some extent a product owner.
Okay.
I'm sure I can plug my other products just now. I work as somebody who usually works with a team of engineers and financiers. It's usually a small team. I worked in Somerset West for quite a while. There's an engineering firm here called Stone 3. And with them, they have different branches, and we designed care coordination platforms, medical care coordination platforms, artificial intelligence heart screening apps.
Oh, my goodness.
Allows primary care workers to do heart screenings. Usually what happens...
Almost a diagnostic process.
Exactly. So usually what happens is somebody thinks they hear a heart murmur, and then it gets referred to the doctor. The doctor is unsure. The doctor refers it to the specialist, and by the time the medical aid gets the bill, you get a big part of that bill. All right. And that's been rolled out in the US quite successfully. I've worked on other medical care coordination platforms, but also, I'm sorry, this is all very technical stuff, and I don't want your teeth to get loose from boredom, but mining process management dashboards. So it's all quite technical things.
It's technology, AI gets involved. But now the bakfietsen, and then somehow you got involved with STROOM. So maybe if we can jump to
STROOM.
Yeah, now you're a product developer, designer. Yeah. Where and how did you get involved with STROOM, and what is it? What is a bakfiets?
So my friend Bo, that's also with me in the business. We studied together at Stellenbosch.
Okay.
And then years later, I ran into him in a supermarket, and he had 2 kids in the trolley, and he didn't look like he was going to make it.
The trolley or the kids or the dad?
Yeah, I think he either had a very long day or a very long life up to that point. But we picked up the conversation, the lines of friendship, and we started doing e-bikes. He's a trade engineer by...
Interesting.
Yeah. So it started with the e-bike, the Lark that we started off with, and the idea for bakfietsen maybe already germinated there. It was a low cost, almost agricultural bike in the sense agricultural in the sense that it didn't have super light parts, but it had very good parts that had to do the thing, and we sold them for a price point maybe 17,000 rand.
The typical e-bike. If I'm too lazy to trap my feet, I get an e-bike, and there's some assistance with me getting up the hill.
Yeah, and quite a lot of assistance. And the concept was that it was an affordable e-bike, something you can leave outside the shop when you go
Oh, lovely.
shopping.
Because they are quite expensive, some of these e-bikes,
Yeah, I think
right?
when I checked just after the pandemic, the sort of mid-high-end specialized ones are around 240,000 rand.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Which is not something you leave outside the shop
No,
while
no,
you're
no, no,
going
no.
for bread and milk.
So you
Right,
guys
yeah.
developed an affordable e-bike round about the price point
That's
15,
right.
16, and then what happened
That's
from
right.
there?
We actually managed to sell those.
Oh, lovely.
So we brought out quite a number from China,
Mm.
and they're all out doing their thing.
Okay.
At the moment, we seem to have done a good job because we hardly see any of them ever again. If we do see them, it's
Maybe too good a job.
maybe too good a job. I think next time,
So when we get back, Christy, so obviously the e-bikes led to them developing a new way of moving cargo between towns and cities, and I think this is where this product that is so exciting. What do you call it?
it's an e-cargo bike.
E-cargo bike. So we're gonna get into the details just now.
Net hierna terug by Helderberg FM, your business lunch with Lindie. Business Lunch with Lindie, sy praat met Peter John Freeman van e-cargo bikes en kom ons hoor wat sy verder met hom gaan gesels. Lindie.
So John, just for short, touching on what you guys working on currently is the e-cargo bike and trailer.
That's
so
correct.
tell us
Yeah.
what is that, and what are the benefits? What does it look like?
Yeah. So it's quite interesting when in South Africa, if you talk about an e-cargo bike or just a cargo bike, people usually don't know what you're talking about.
Exactly.
It's a completely different shape than a normal bicycle.
Okay.
It's low slung. It's got a different style of frame, and of course, there's space for cargo.
Okay.
In our case, up to 75 kilograms of
Lovely.
cargo.
So it's a different shape. There's a space for cargo,
Yes.
and it's motorized or whatever.
Yeah, so I think the word that usually sparks the memory of what a cargo bike looks like is a bakfiets.
A buckfiets.
A bakfiets.
A fiets met 'n bak.
A fiets met 'n bak.
Okay.
Correct. And in our case, we also have the e-trailer behind it. So the
Okay.
trailer can take a load up to, we say 150, although it can take a lot more. And unfortunately, some of our partners have and consistently do more. So for safety's sake, we say 150 kilogram.
Okay.
The trailer has a battery and its own braking system and its own front hub motor.
Okay.
So it reads the torque and speed from the bicycle up front, and it matches that speed
Lovely.
and braking. So we regularly see about on a full load from our partners about 20-25 k's an hour that they move through
Wow.
traffic.
That's quite
fast.
a
Yeah.
speed.
Yeah.
So now I'm thinking a town like Stellenbosch, and you've
Yes.
got all these e-cargo bikes with trailers moving stuff around.
Yes.
The person using the bike, do they need a license of sort, or you can ride a bicycle, you can ride this, or is it a motorcycle?
So it's a very interesting point. The bike itself fits within bicycle specifications.
Okay.
We had to make sure and shake hands with the local traffic department on that.
So it's basically a bike in their eyes, like
yes.
a bicycle?
Yes. Although they did make us put on more reflectors.
Okay,
They were very
all right.
insistent about that, and
That's fine, we
shook
can do
hands on
that.
that bit. Yeah.
Yeah?
So not too hard. And I think the bicycles do not require a license. A motorcycle license.
Okay.
And that is a major benefit.
Absolutely.
In terms of job creation. You'll see all the delivery guys that you see on Checkers 60 and Woolworths Dash, almost all are imports, shall we say.
There we go.
Right. And the local guys don't seem to have
And some of them are excluded from the opportunity, right?
Exactly.
So what are the benefits and for which industry can potentially get excited?
Yeah, so I think if we stay on the license issue for just a second,
Sure.
We've been working with a pharmacy, for example, and to them it's so important because if the guy with a motorcycle license is off, there's no replacement.
Of course.
Because where do they find somebody? If somebody has a pizza business and he delivers with the e-cargo bike, he can at least exchange the labor if there's a down day, and the entire business doesn't just sit there waiting.
It just
waiting for
lowers the entry point in terms of
That's-
having enough people doing the job.
That's right. That's
That's
right.
incredibly exciting.
Yeah.
So what makes you most excited about this project? maybe even from a commercial point of view?
Yes, I think sort of starting on a higher level, e-cargo bikes are not necessarily a replacement for one other technology. So it's not specifically a replacement for a motorcycle or a bicycle or a truck. It's actually a new way of looking at the landscape.
Okay.
Instead of looking at as a landscape, it's more of a timescape. So let's say a timescape, and within a timescape you move goods around. So let's say Stellenbosch on a Friday afternoon is utterly broken.
Absolutely.
You forget
Nobody can go anywhere.
Forget about it. If you get anywhere, you're going to be in a bad mood. It's just, I think the town is like 300% overcapacity.
I know, it's a pain.
Our two delivery guys managed to do about 35 kilometers each on a Friday afternoon in Stellenbosch. That's 70 kilometers. Imagine in terms of a light delivery vehicle, how long 70 kilometers would take.
So that's the possibility. It's like a complete niche way of combating issues around capacity and high traffic and volumes.
Yes.
And they can park anywhere.
They can park anywhere, and they're actually welcome. So as opposed to a truck that's double parked.
Absolutely. You can squeeze in onto a pathway or wherever.
Yes.
And brilliant solution for overcrowding spaces.
Yeah, I've actually been trying to get hold of Coca-Cola, if you're listening.
ABI, where are you?
Specifically Peninsula Beverages.
Well, please, if someone know them, send them John's way.
Yeah, what you often see are these trucks double parked.
Oh, my goodness.
In front of a busy streets or a
and we understand their conundrum. There's nowhere to park.
It's very difficult.
Yes.
But what we're suggesting, Peninsula Beverages, is that you have a satellite depot.
Yes.
And that you use our guys that can transport quite a lot at one time.
Okay.
And you move on to the next location and to the next depot.
That makes so much sense. So have almost like a DC capability, and these guys just offload and distribute.
So in the case of Stellenbosch, you would have a depot in Plankenburg. We can even provide that at this stage. And then from there, the whole town is within 5 minutes bike ride.
And I'm even thinking, delivering documents, delivering food, delivering merchandise. There's so many possibilities, right?
Right. I think typically the matrix is you want a slightly, the perfect matrix, I should say, it's not exclusive, is a slightly higher value item, like maybe documents, a specific type of food, and then you want some density in the population, so your reach is higher, and the bikes must be able to make a significant improvement on the delivery times.
And I can even see the possibility of small entrepreneurs, setting up a little bit of a distribution business.
Right.
You just need to find a client, you've got the vehicle, and off you go. As long as you've got two healthy working legs.
Yeah, exactly.
And some oomph in the body, off you go. When we come back, of course, would love to just explore this idea further. Thanks, Christy.
Absolutely, ons is terug net hier nou. Business Lunch with Lindie, so laaste sessie, sy gesels met Peter John Freeman oor die e-cargo bike en sommer 'n klomp ander dinge. Lindie.
So John, give the listeners and myself some idea about around the price point of these e-cargo bikes and trailers, and I think also what is the specific business model in terms of the offering?
Yes. So I think let's start out with what does an average e-mountain bike cost? And I think the answer is usually over 100,000 Rand. If you want anything nice, you're over 200,000 Rand. We're looking at a price point, depending on the battery size and configuration, for about 65,000 Rand.
Okay, that's considerably less.
So it's you can literally start a business and employ somebody for half the price of a mountain bike, of an e-mountain bike.
But then you also, your business model, you spoke something about, or said something about, there's a purchase and rental option?
Rental model. So in terms of entrepreneurs, we do provide a rental package. So the idea is that it's a turnkey delivery service. So somebody who has the connections in, for example, in Soweto, we're working with a partner there called Shove Bike. Zanile, amazing guy, so much energy.
Lovely.
He puts me to shame every time I speak to him. He's more on my phone than my mother.
Oh my goodness, okay. Lots of energy and excitement.
Yeah. So within a couple of weeks, these guys have managed to build a delivery network that's it's so incredible, and that's with one bike and trailer that we gave him, and he can't stay ahead. So our next step is to provide a container with solar charging on the roof that locks up, and then bikes that can become available for rental. So you would have an employer, entrepreneur, and he would then employ a vet and manage the bikes.
It's amazing, and he's got a fleet of guys.
The software has been tested.
Lovely.
So there's security for the bikes. There are locks for the bikes.
Lovely. So software, technology in place.
And because it's an e-vehicle, the maintenance is so much less than what you would get on, say, a motorcycle.
Okay.
That's never mind noisy and dirty. You know, it's just the internal combustion engines are very complex compared to EV.
But John, it sounds like you guys have really thought out the business model from cradle to grave, making it really affordable and accessible to a mass of people out there looking to earn an income.
It's really just a case of turning the key and looking for somebody brave enough to do it. And I think this is the very important thing for me at this stage is, I'll try and keep this short, but I think in Japanese there's a saying, a person who sells the smell. So we have this little industry or political industry around, EV bikes, and it's a feel-good thing, but it doesn't really get down to the crux. And the crux is, it's actually affordable, it actually works, and it's the cheapest way of moving goods, light goods, in a dense urban area like a township.
But you know what excites me more than anything is that you guys are involved in, again, having a customized, thought through backbone of support. Talking about containers that's got a solar battery operated capacity and all the rest. So it's thought through. It's available. I'm super excited. I want to ask you this. So you guys are obviously in the industry of customized product development, and you're a product development house. Yeah. So for anyone out there that's got interesting ideas, are you guys available and open for them to pitch their idea? And so could that work?
Yeah, we definitely are. We're sort of by accident a bit of an all-star team. We have a gentleman who works with us, Kunrad. He used to run a military workshop of over 200 people. He's the real boss. We don't, Okay. And myself, a product designer, and my friend and partner Bauer, he's extremely versed in finance.
So the finance
engineering,
analytics, and the models around the feasibility of an idea.
Exactly. Okay. So we do cover the entire spectrum. For creating what I suppose we can call it developing modern day artifacts. Okay. In the old days, if you dig up an artifact, it explains the civilization that came before it. But if you have a good enough idea, hopefully that idea will explain the future.
Oh.
So you sort of turn that around a little bit.
That's amazing.
And in order to do that, you do need the aesthetics, the financials, and the mechanical
technology, artificial intelligence, alternative power supply, all the rest. So it's almost like a multifunctional team looking at an idea and say, okay, what's the possibility? Can we take this to market?
Yeah, and I think the key is an experienced team and a team with a sense of humor, and somebody who's willing to tell you it's not going to fly. Or it is going to fly.
Or go back to the drawing board, as the popular saying goes. Yes. Chrissy, I don't know about you, but I'm so excited to this point. I'm reconsidering my current career. Definitely. I mean, I can just get involved with these guys and get excited about the future.
I'm going to phone my bank manager after this interview.
The barrier to entry is a hot factory.
Okay, but here's the final question to you, John. What excites me really is, you guys seem to get involved in solutions. And is that what gives you hope? I mean, why do you do what you do?
Yeah. I don't want to repackage a chaotic life as a career journey. It's probably more accurate to say that, we hang our naked butts over the raggedy edge of invention in the hope of making the world a better place because, that's how we were brought up.
That's so comical. But I mean, it is the reality, looking at a capability and making the world a better place and getting excited about possibilities.
What else is there to do? Make it worse.
So the most important question, and I'm sure there's a lot of listeners out there getting all excited and wanting to jump onto your website. How do they get it? Where are you and how are you contacted? What's the best way?
I think the easiest way is to go to stroom.co.za, STROOM.co.za. And I'll even give them my private email.
Okay,
that's brave. That's brave.
That's very brave, but go for it. Those beverage guys might be listening.
Peninsula Beverages. So I think private email, Black Southeaster, like the wind in Cape Town, @gmail.com.
blacksoutheaster@gmail.com. Okay, there you go.
Guys.
Creative in every sense, down to the email address. Peter John, I can't tell you how excited I am. Christine, I'm definitely going to invite Peter John back. We need to keep tabs in terms of how all of this is progressing. And, a year from now, we might be looking at the new local Elon Musk. What do you think?
Yeah. Why not?
Well, he's already bought his hair back, So.
Peter John, it's been absolutely fascinating. If anything, you've given me a lot of hope for the future. And please continue doing what you do and make heaps of money. But most importantly, give hope to many people. I think that's what we all need at this stage.
It's lovely meeting you guys. Thank you.
Thank you. Lekker gewees om te hoor van Peter John se storie. Lindie, baie dankie ook. Ons sien dan weer volgende donderdag.
Sien volgende week in donderdag.